Cruise news and information. In this video, I want to give you, I guess I could say, some tips and tricks when it comes to Carnival Venezia. Things to look forward to if you have a Carnival Venezia trip booked or if you're thinking about booking it. So with that, let's talk ship. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Holiday Zay with Let's Talk Ship. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel, and we're going to get straight into it. So, if you have Carnival Venezia booked, or you are thinking about it, just know that if you also have Venezia Firenze booked, that a lot of this, if not all, apply to that ship as well because they are sister Italian-style fun ships. Okay, so the first one I want to get into is this one. Please know that La Strada Grill is only on Venezia and Firenze. If you watched my Carnival Venezia vlog, then you will see the selection of food that they have. It is amazing. The next one I want to cover is for your stateroom. Your staterooms on traditional Carnival ships, on some of them you will notice with your selling sign card, you have to insert them. You have to take them out of this to insert it. Well, you'll be pleased to know on Venezia, you can leave it in this and just tap and it'll open your door. So please know that. So if you want to have your selling sign card and something like that, guess what? On this one, you don't have to worry about taking it out every single time you want to access your stateroom. You just simply put it on the little tap device and it opens your stateroom. Also on Venezia and Firenze, you'll be pleased to know that they do not have those dingy shower curtains. Yes, they have the glass showers. If you are a fan, a huge fan of Guy's Burgers on the traditional ships, then you already know they have their selection of burgers at Guy's Burger. But on the Italian style ships, they introduced two new ones, the super melty moots and the pepperoni pizza burger. And I must say, from experience, the pepperoni pizza burger is amazing. This next tip comes in handy because the Venezia can be kind of tricky trying to maneuver from front to back and then from back to mid and trying to go up and down to get to your locations. This was something that we picked up on. In each section of the ship pertaining to aft, mid, and front, they have letters in the elevator area. So if you're on the bottom floor like I was and you're cutting across like deck 10, which is a little deck area, and you don't have a sense of the direction of where you are on the ship, pay attention to your closest elevator. They'll be labeled by letters. Once you memorize that, okay, we're by M, N, and I think L and K or something like that. Wherever you go across the top, once you see that, because it goes all the way up, you'll know that you're either aft, mid, or forward. And at that point, you're close to your stateroom, depending on which floor you are on and where you're trying to get to. Because we were on an 11-day cruise and it took me about 5 days to get the hang of things. And the letters will definitely come in handy. This next one, it's kind of general across all ships, but just know this. Getting to popular shows early, especially in the theater, compared to larger ships and other ships, right? This space may be smaller in comparison to others. So it's obviously limited, right? So you may have to get there 30 to 45 minutes to an hour before doors even open to good seating. Because if you don't, if you know what I mean, you might have a rail in front of you and you can't see the stage, or those big old thick pillars in front of you and you won't be able to see anything. You'll just be able to hear what's going on, and it's kind of like, what's the point? So just arrive earlier or way earlier than the time that they schedule for the doors to open. This one, yeah. Anyway, because our stateroom was on deck 2 and it was midship, we could not go from deck 3 atrium straight through. at certain times, especially when they were operating the dinners and things like that. So we would have to either go up a deck on deck 4 and cut through the casino, but we very, very rarely cut through the casino because we do not like the smoke that's inside the casino. The filtration system is terrible. So we would have to either catch the elevator or the stairs up to deck 5, then walk across to the midship from the front of the ship and go down to deck 2, or we would have to catch the elevator in the front of the ship down one floor and then walk straight across under deck 3 to get to our stateroom, okay? One thing that I did do, which is the main thing, is cutting through Marco Polo restaurant. But I only did that when the restaurant was empty, because it's kind of rude to walk through when it's occupied and then you have the workers, you know, at the front checking for your available tables and things like that. So don't do that while it's being occupied. We only did that when they were closed for cleaning for the next event to take place. So that's a tip. That is allowed. Just don't go in there messing with stuff, touching things and being loud and obnoxious and things like that. It's perfectly fine for you to walk straight through if you have to access midship from deck 3. Some would say that this is a hidden gem on Carnival Venezia, and it's the whirlpool access that you have in the men's and the women's locker room. I believe the rule is 15 minutes per usage, and only one person is allowed in there at a time. However, I can only imagine that it's probably been 2 people in there before in the past at a time, because some people don't like to follow directions. But if I'm correct, the rules were 15 minutes per one person at a time, to be, you know, to give common courtesy to someone else who may want to use that whirlpool as well. So once you go like into the Cloud 9 spa area and you're going into the men's or women's locker room, there's going to be like a hidden door. And you're going to see where you take your sell and sign card, or no, not your sell and sign card, but your hand, and just wave it in front of this little black device on the wall, and it opens up, it slides open, and you'll see right in front of you the whirlpool. There's a shower in there, and then there's also a, I want to say it's a sauna in that same room as well. And in that whirlpool room is a window, so it's nice to have that 15 minutes to yourself and just look out the window while you're at sea. This next one, Venezia is known for the gondola, and the gondola is located in the back of the ship at Canal Grande restaurant. And you know, it being one of the highlights of the ship, a lot of people like to go in there and take pictures. However, people think that you can only access that restaurant when it's operating. And at that point in time, you have servers with, you know, a lot of dishes and plates and things like that maneuvering through, and you don't want to be in the way. It is okay to a certain extent to go in there when outside of the hours of operation. I've done it to get pictures of the gondola, because some people may say like, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal anyway. Well, just know that it is a big deal for some cruisers. And believe it or not, there is a percentage of people who go on that ship specifically for the gondola. Some people cruise for those reasons, okay? So just be mindful of that and know that you can go in there to take pictures when it's not occupied by other cruise guests. This one, as a content creator, if you're wanting to do walkthroughs and things like that, when the restaurants aren't operating other, you know, passengers and serving them and things like that, if you ask while someone is in there, hey, can I come through real quick and just shoot content for a walkthrough tour or something like that, 9 chances out of 10, they're going to tell you that, yes, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead. I did it. Okay, so just be respectful. If there's someone sitting at the front desk, like when I went into Il Vigio, something, the Italian place, there was a lady sitting at the front desk, and I said, hey, is it okay if I come in and just shoot some content real quick? And she was like, oh, yeah, it's perfectly fine. And I did my thing. I did the same thing for the 555 Fahrenheit Steakhouse, perfectly fine. I did the same thing for Bonsai Sushi. Totally fine, okay? So just ask, be respectful. If you are a content creator and you need to go in there to either take pictures or shoot content, more than likely they're gonna allow you to. Know on this ship that they do digital. If you've been on other Carnival ships, you know, some people don't like that they do the printouts and you have to go to a section of the ship to find your printout and things like that. This particular ship, Carnival Venezia, does not do printouts at all. It's all digital. On Carnival Venezia, they also do the iris photos. So if you don't know what the iris photo shoot is, it's when they sit you down, they have you this table, this macro lens, and a light shines into your eye, and they do, I want to say he does like a long exposure for the light for the lens to capture all of, you know, the light shining on your iris to get all the colors and things like that. And you can either get one by yourself or with your significant other or with your entire family. And they do all this Photoshop. You can choose which type of effect that you want on your irises and things like that. It's pretty dope. We got it done, and it comes at a cost, but just know simply that Carnival Venezia does have this, I don't want to call it an attraction, but this photo option on board that particular ship. Carnival Venezia, of course, has a casino, but they also have a non-smoking casino as well. Now, a lot of people don't like the non-smoking version because they feel as if you can't win much over in the non-smoking area, but whatever. If they do, they do. They don't, they don't. Some people just want to go because that's their thing, to gamble, but they don't want to be surrounded by smoke. So just know that Carnival Venezia does offer a non-smoking casino. The last thing I want to tell you guys about Carnival Venezia, because there are some traditional Carnival ships that do not have this on board, is the space in front of the ship where you can actually go to the very front, turn either left or right, and go out the side and walk in the front. Now, please know that on some occasions it is very windy. On Carnival Venezia, that area is located on decks 5, 6, and 7. Know that on deck 5, you can access the front of the ship from midship by walking around and going all the way to the front. On other traditional Carnival ships, you can't access the front of the ship from deck 5. You literally have to go inside the ship through the staterooms, walk all the way to the front, and then turn either left or right, and then go out into the front. And then you'll have 2 or 3 decks that you have access to with benches out there to where you can sit and just relax. That is going to be all for my Carnival Venezia tips and tricks. I hope that this information was helpful for some of you who have a Carnival Venezia cruise booked, or if you are in the process of booking Carnival Venezia, like I think I want to do it, but I'm researching a few videos to see if they have things and amenities and stuff like that, to, you know, if it's really going to be worth it. So hopefully this video sent you over the edge, like, you know what, I want to book it because they have this, or I want to book it because they have that. Okay, so I hope I was able to do that for at least 5 to 10 people. Let me know down in the comments section. All right, so I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I appreciate you guys for watching. Again, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content that will definitely be coming. And always, always, always be grateful and embrace the day. And until next time, peace. And with all of that, stay safe and happy cruising. Thumbnail.